This compilation showcases the most compelling reports and newspaper articles about ancient giants from the states of Iowa, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan. Across these accounts from the upper Midwest, you'll notice recurring themes that echo through the various stories, connecting these historical reports across different states. The Charles City Giant. Milford Chronicle, September 7, 1888. In 1888, near Charles City, Iowa, Professor Webster's excavation of 14 mounds uncovered 30 skeletons, several nearly 7 feet tall with thick skulls and sloping foreheads. Buried in a doubled-up position with fire damage, these remains, accompanied by sparse pottery, suggest a distinct ancient population with unusual burial customs. Number 12. John Wesley Powell's Giant. Evening Star, December 16, 1893. For everyone who says there is no evidence of the Smithsonian's involvement with giant skeletons, this is for you. Here is a direct quote from the head of the Smithsonian himself, referring to a 7'6" skeleton. John Wesley Powell, head of the Smithsonian Institution's Bureau of Ethnology and a Civil War veteran and explorer, oversaw mound investigations in the late 19th century. In 1897, Smithsonian Director John Wesley Powell reported a 7'6" skeleton in an Iowa mound, adorned with a bear-tooth necklace and copper beads. The bones crumbled upon exposure, leaving no trace, it is said. This credible account fuels speculation about suppressed giant discoveries by the Smithsonian. Number 13. The Vault of Giants, Worcester Daily Spy, May 9, 1857. In 1857, Burlington, Iowa, workers found an arched vault with 8 skeletons over 8 feet tall, built with advanced masonry. Reported by the Burlington State Gazette, this find challenges known Native American burial practices, hinting at a lost culture or legendary giants. To see the full video, go to my page and look for the Vault of Giants video Iowa version, as there is another very similar account from Ohio. Jackson, Ohio. In 1859, workers in Jackson, Ohio, uncovered a stone vault underground containing massive human bones and a silver chain with coins bearing Roman and unknown markings. The vault's multiple chambers and foul air prevented full exploration. For a full deep dive, watch my Vault of Giants episode on my page. Number 2. Muskingum County. In the late 1800s, the Muskingum County Historical Society, led by Dr. J.E. Everhart, excavated a large mound in Ohio and reportedly uncovered several skeletons measuring up to 10 feet tall. Among the discoveries were a clay coffin containing an 8-foot-tall woman and a child, and a stone tablet we'll cover later in this video. Some graves held multiple skeletons stacked together. Modern archaeology dismisses such claims. Number 3. Bates Mound, Noble County. In 1872, 3 skeletons were unearthed at Bates Mound in Seneca Township, Noble County. Each was reportedly at least 8 feet tall, with proportionally large bones. Remarkably, all were said to have double rows of teeth in both jaws. The skeletons quickly crumbled after being exposed to air. Number 4. Conneaut, Ohio. An article from the Tiffin Tribune, dated July 24, 1873, reports on the discovery of a massive graveyard near Conneaut, Ohio. It describes a burial site with numerous large skeletons, some with skulls large enough to cover the heads of ordinary men and jawbones that fit over a normal face. Thousands of graves were described, arranged in rows. The article reflects 19th century fascination with such remains, though no scientific verification was provided. Number 5. St. Mary's, Ohio. A 1918 article from the Washington Times claims that sewer workers in St. Mary's, Ohio, uncovered a giant human skeleton nearly 8 feet long. It was interpreted as evidence of an ancient race of giants. Number 6. Bowling Green, Ohio. In 1902, a laborer digging a ditch near Bowling Green unearthed a prehistoric human skeleton said to be nearly 9 feet tall. The skull was massive, with a large jaw and double rows of teeth, and the arms were unusually long. The skeleton was briefly displayed at a local residence before being removed. Number 7. Portsmouth, Ohio. An 1894 article stated that bridge workers near Portsmouth uncovered an enormous human skeleton while excavating. Number 8. Chillicothe, Ohio. In May 1897, Dr. Loveberry of the Ohio State University Museum excavated 2 mounds near Chillicothe and discovered 10 skeletons, one reportedly 8 feet tall. Number 9. Homer, Ohio. In 1885, bones protruding from a hillside near Homer prompted an excavation. 5 large skeletons were discovered, 3 over 7 feet tall, 1 more than 8 feet. The skulls were large enough to fit over a grown man's head with room to spare. They were found laid out on a stone platform, 5 feet underground, feet pointing east. Artifacts included an engraved stone pipe, a curved knife with a wooden handle, and a 6-quart kettle. Number 10. Port Jefferson, Ohio. In July 1898, road workers near Port Jefferson unearthed very large human bones believed to belong to a giant. Number 11. Near Akron, Ohio quarry workers northwest of Akron reportedly found the near-complete skeleton of a prehistoric man over 10 feet tall. The skull and jaw could fit over a modern man's head. Other remains included ribs, vertebrae, femurs, and a broken pelvis. The Cleveland Plain Dealer covered the discovery, calling it of great scientific interest. Number 12. Additional reports. In the 1800s, Dr. Everhart described graves with skeletons notably different from both Native Americans and Europeans. Larger bones and unique skull shapes fueled speculation about an unknown ancient race. Other accounts mention similar finds across Chesterville, Adams, Medina, Marion, Brown, and Lucas counties. Illinois giants. In 1845, in Williamson County, Illinois, a giant skeleton was found about 60 feet underground by W.J. Shoemate while digging a well. The bones were said to be in perfect condition and weighed a total of 1,500 pounds. Reports described the skeleton as belonging to a man who would have stood around 18 feet tall, with all the major bones intact, including the skull, arms, and thigh bones. In Henry County, farmer Solomon Hedrick uncovered a prehistoric cemetery in a 35-foot-high mound. He found several skeletons, each over 8 feet tall, with large polished teeth and grave goods like ivory heads and a bone shield. In Quincy, Frank H. Einhaus found a nearly 7-foot skeleton while digging on Zimmerman Hill. The lower jaw was completely solid with no teeth or nerve holes, a feature not seen in normal skeletons. At Cahokia Mounds in the 1800s, newspapers reported the discovery of oversized bones or giant skeletons during excavations. The site itself is massive, and these reports added to its mystery. Wisconsin giants. Lake Delavan is the center of one of Wisconsin's most enduring legends. In the early 1900s, newspapers, including the New York Times, reported that 18 skeletons with unusually large skulls were unearthed from a burial mound near the lake. The skulls were described as much larger than any known race, with sloping foreheads and prominent jaws, sparking theories of a lost tribe of giants. At Pelican Lake, an 8-foot skeleton and ancient artifacts were reportedly discovered in 1908. In Trompe-l'Eau, stories tell of giant skeletons being unearthed in the area. At Fond du Lac, a 7-foot skeleton was found in 1899 and displayed in a Main Street window. In 1876, Dr. J. N. DeHart reported finding vertebrae larger than those of the present type in Wisconsin mounds. A University of Wisconsin team led by Professors Sanford, Thompson, and Denier uncovered a 6.5-foot skeleton with an 8-inch wide skull in a central burial mound. Yet, no verified museum specimens or scientific studies confirm these remains, leaving the stories shrouded in mystery. Minnesota giants, also known as Paul Bunyan. Over the years, I've found numerous old newspaper stories about giant bones discovered in Minnesota. While many of these reports are now difficult to locate, I was able to quickly track down 8 separate accounts for this video. There's enough material here for a whole episode, so for now, here's the condensed highlight version. In 1884, a Michigan newspaper reported the discovery of a gigantic human skeleton near Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. In 1882, newspapers described the unearthing of a massive skull and giant remains among mound builder relics in the Red River Valley. In 1896, the St. Paul Globe detailed the find of a huge skeleton at Beckley Farm near Lake Coronis. In 1888, the St. Paul Pioneer Press reported that 7 unusually large skeletons were uncovered near Clearwater, Minnesota. In 1860, the Winona Republican recounted the discovery of several giant skeletons from a burial mound near Winona. The Raftsman's Journal from Pennsylvania also reported giant bones, including a 3-foot thigh bone, found somewhere in Minnesota during the 19th century. In 1891, the Connorsville Daily Examiner described giant bones found in a gravel pit outside Battle Lake, Minnesota. And in 1916, the Bemidji Daily Pioneer covered the unearthing of a large skeleton near Rainy Lake, Minnesota. Among these accounts, the Sauk Rapids skeleton stands out for its astonishing size, nearly 11 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds. Another remarkable story comes from Clearwater, where 7 skeletons, each between 7 and 8 feet tall and featuring double rows of teeth, were reportedly found in a burial mound. Despite the sensational details, none of these remains were ever scientifically verified, though it is rumored that the Smithsonian was often responsible for confiscating these bones. Today, these stories live on only in old newspaper reports. Michigan's giant skeletons. In the late 1800s, reports surfaced of giant skeletons, up to 8 feet tall, found in burial mounds across Michigan. For example, in 1894, newspapers reported that workers near the town of Dowagiac unearthed several skeletons measuring over 7 feet in length from a mound on a farm. Another case came from near Grand Rapids in 1872, where a group of farmers discovered a skeleton said to be nearly 8 feet tall, with unusually large jawbones and teeth. In 1911, a report from the Lake Superior region described the discovery of a skeleton estimated at 7.5 feet tall, buried with copper tools and stone ornaments. Mainstream archaeology attributes these stories to exaggeration or misidentification, but legends of a lost race of giants persist to this day.